Hello, and what is going on today, guys? Tomcat here, and today we are back in Forza Horizon 3 for a look at a rock crawler build. Now, it's sort of a rock crawler slash off-roader, I guess you could say, but the basic I guess, geometry of this particular setup is the fact that, number one, I didn't come up with the setup, my friend Jeep Guy did. A lot of you guys will know Jeep Guy from my Spin Tires videos, some of my Forza videos, and things like that. But anyways, Jeep Guy basically put this entire setup together, and everything is insanely soft, and the suspension is raised all the way up. Now, you might say, well, that's stupid. Why would you do something like that? Basically, the objective of this build is suspension flex and suspension travel. That's pretty much the total objective of this build in a nutshell. Now, what we're going to do with it is we're going to take it off-roading out here by the gorge and basically try to see if we can get a get it to represent what I'm trying to, like the point I'm trying to make, and that is that if you really want to, you can off-road in Horizon 3. It's not quite Spin Tires, but you can still come to, a certain level of off-roadability with some of the vehicles you build. Now, I'm going to try this later on with the FJ40 that I'm going to be building now that I've got the barn find and everything like that, but I'm going to be building an FJ40 for off-roading purposes, and I feel like that's going to be a lot of fun because we're going to have a more classic vehicle to deal with, whereas this, you know, it's a brand new JK Wrangler, and I just checked the map and realized I was going the wrong way, so I turned around and headed back. But basically, like I said, the objective of this is suspension travel and suspension flex, and you can see, as we watch from the side, that suspension just, you know, just travels up and down as it soaks up every single bump. This thing really has no problem at all riding over bumpy surfaces on, like, you know, the desert, prairie, land, whatever you want to drive it across, honestly. Now, there are a few spots in this video where I basically just either drive off the edge of a rock or drive into rocks and stuff like that, and that's because the whole rock crawling thing in Horizon 3 is something, it's still a little odd, and it's still something that I'm getting used to, so there's a little bit of a, like, I guess, an iffiness on the things that you can climb on and the things that you can't climb on. So, if you see, though, if we go to the photo mode real quick, you see that we got a little bit of flex out of the Jeep, not too much. It's just kind of, you know, it's a very small amount of flex, but nonetheless, it goes to show that it can do it. So, after this point, after I was like, oh, okay, well, it can do it, you know, it can do it, it can climb up on some rocks. Now let's see what we can do. Let's see if we can find some more rocks for it to actually climb on. Now we have it tripoded, and once you get it tripoded, that's when you start to get a little bit more, not necessarily hardcore, but start to get some noticeable flex out of the thing. So what I decided to do next was take it kind of up the mountain and see if I could find some really, you know, really intense rock crawling up there. The only problem is the fact that this Jeep has a really low overhanging bumper, and that particular bumper makes it a little tricky to get up onto rocks, because the bumper is always the first thing to hit them, not the first thing to hit the rock, not the tire. And that kind of almost defeats the purpose of having big tires if you've got a massive bumper, because you want the tires to be the very first thing to hit the obstacle. That's half the reason why you lift an off-road vehicle, and half the reason why you put on a high clearance front bumper, or a bumper that tucks way up in the front, so that the tires can usually, or hopefully, be the first thing to make contact with an obstacle. Now, again, that's, you know, that's just my personal view. However you view that, that's kind of up to you, but if you're looking for something that's specifically for function, you want as little front bumper as you can in your off-road vehicle. So, we made it onto this particular rock, which is not that hard. Kind of trying to show a little bit more of the suspension flex, suspension geometry. I was like, well, should I proceed? And then I was like, yeah, maybe not, but whatever. And it actually ended a lot better than I thought it would. I honestly thought we were going to have to reset and blah, 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 and we were going to end up on our roof. Not really. Just keep on going. By the way, if you saw the gearbox tuning earlier, we've got first gear, we've got the final drive maxed out, and we've got first gear maxed out as well, basically because we want this thing to be full crawler geared. I mean, the only reason why you're going to be using the other gears anyway is driving to an obstacle. That's literally the only reason why you're going to be using the rest of the gears, which is why we made first gear extremely, extremely, extremely short, so you can climb up pretty much whatever you want to as easily as possible. You don't have to deal with a ton of wheel spin. You don't have to deal with a ton of, like, you know, like trying to actually get the thing launched properly. The first gear is so short that all you literally have to do is bump the throttle and you'll make it up an obstacle. Now, this particular obstacle right here was a little bit weird. I tried to go up it from one side, didn't quite make it. Then tried to go up it from this side, made it a little bit of the way, and realized I was kind of maxing the suspension out, and then I tried to continue all the way up and started having issues because I think I was bottoming out the exhaust and kind of backed off of it and was like, you know what, we might just save that one for later or for something bigger. Now, I have an episode of this coming later on with the Warthog, which is going to be a lot of fun because I feel like the Warthog is going to do great because the Warthog's got huge tires, some of the biggest tires you could ask for in Horizon 3, and that is where we kind of flopped on our side. That is the only, well, I feel like there were a couple more sideways flops later on, but really and truly there weren't actually that many considering the fact that we were, you know, climbing on rocks. Now, I understand that this is not something that a lot of people are going to be interested in doing in Horizon 3, and, you know, well, I guess interested in doing right now. Hopefully this video turns you on to, you know, maybe the idea of off-roading in Horizon 3, you know, just like jeeping, rock crawling, whatever you want to do. I mean, like, you can do this kind of a tune on any kind of off-road vehicle and just crawl on rocks. You know, take pictures on the rocks and do things like that. So it's a little bit of a different way to play the game, but nonetheless, it's an additional way to play it. Nonetheless, I mean, you've got people that grip race, you've got people that drift, you've got people that rally, and I think that, you know, the people that go off-roading and rock crawling is not quite, obviously, the largest group of people in Horizon 3, but it's definitely not something you should ignore, I don't think, because at the end of the day, there's definitely a bunch of different schools of thought when it comes to playing this particular game, because it is such a wide open, massive game, and it's got so many different types of environments, and I feel like if Turn 10 didn't, or not Turn 10, if Playground Games didn't want us to climb on these rocks, then they wouldn't have put them here. So the fact that they put these rocks here kind of says to me, oh, well, yeah, and about high centering, you'll do that every so often. But that kind of, the fact that they put rocks here that you can climb on, and they put Jeeps in the game, and they put a lifted suspension option, you know, like in tuning, and they made it so you can make it full soft, you know, I feel like, in a way, they may have considered this. So, it's just another way you can play the game. It's another way you can try the game out. It's another way you can have fun in Horizon 3. So, I think more people should give it a shot. And if you guys have any vehicles in the comments below that you would like me to do, I guess, a rock crawler tune on, I'm still getting used to it because I'm learning the way, like, Jeep Guy makes these setups and stuff like that, but, like, once I get it dialed in, I feel like I'll really have a good baseline setup to work with, and then once I have that baseline setup to work with, we can put the setup on anything. So, again, let me know in the comment section below what vehicles you want to see rock crawlered. Rock crawlered is not a term, let's be clear. But again, if you would like to see me do this similar type of build on any certain vehicle, let me know in the comment section below. Because generally it has to be a vehicle that started off as a, you know, sort of an off-road focused vehicle in the first place. Because vehicles that didn't start out as an off-road focused vehicle, like the Wrangler that I just did a video on, where that's like a lifted rally build, you know, we couldn't really do a rock crawler build on a Wrangler. It just wouldn't work. But something like, you know, Jeeps, trucks, you know, like the Raptor, the Ram Runner, stuff like that, the FJ40, anything classic, like the Willys. Let me know in the comment section below, like I said, which ones you want to see me do, and I'll start doing more rock crawler builds and getting better at the fine-tuning aspect of it, obviously, as we go along. But if you guys did enjoy the video, don't forget to click that like button. Tell me in the comment section down below what you guys thought of it, and if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe for more, and I will see you guys in the next one where we will be doing some multiplayer. We'll be having some fun with the whole team, getting some, who knows, maybe doing some King, maybe doing some drifting. We'll see, but I've got some tons of awesome stuff coming up for you guys, and again, I'm so glad my mic is fixed. But again, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Talk to you guys later.